On.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Coffee with Ori. Except today it's going to be water and not coffee because I am coming to you guys live from Houston. Today I want to talk about something that people keep repeating over and over and over, which is called the awakening. For many Hispanic families and people of color, I think that we've all experienced, either we've experienced it or our family members have experienced it when you get touched for the first time, whether you're young or older. You go through spiritual enlightenment or spiritual awakening, which is, I've known a lot of people to actually go crazy. Women run down the streets naked, or women run down the streets crying and screaming, and people don't know exactly what's happening to them. People have breakdowns. Kids scream horribly. People start to become, violent, alcoholics, drug addicts. I mean, all these things just start to happen. And basically, this is all part of the awakening. I think it has something to do with whatever frequency we're on. And once that frequency is touched, or it's removed from us, we're able to see, or we're able to gather more information, and spirit is more clearer. But because of it, it makes us a little uneasy. Now, one of the things that I want to talk about besides the awakening, it was something perfect that happened to me this afternoon, early afternoon. I was sitting outside in the front of the hotel, and I was watching this boy and this woman. They were leaving the hotel room, and the woman's calling him, and the boy. I'm looking at the boy, and the boy snapped. The boy literally just like flipped out and called her names and said all these things. But within what seemed to me to be 5 minutes, it was all of 1 second, because she called his name, and then all of a sudden the kid was normal, and she said, "Where were you?" And he said, "What is it, Mom?" So I realized then, at that particular moment, that there was a time loop. And whether any of you understand what I mean by time loops or not, there are time loops where, time escapes us. I'm sure many of us have worked so much, and then we start at 12 noon, and all of a sudden, it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, and we're like, what the hell? Where did the time go? Well, those are time loops. And within that, as being as a medium or a psychic or whatever, we're able to distinguish things that no one else are able to distinguish. I'm not saying not everybody can, but there's a lot of people out there that are not practicing psychics or mediums, that can understand and see, because they have a scientific mind, and they understand it. I particularly don't understand it. I've seen birds come out of the sky when there was nothing there. I've seen people walk out of somewhere and then walk right back in. I've stood in front of a doorway where I can see the street, and then all of a sudden it becomes an empty field, and I just look through. I never walk through. I just look through because mama ain't raised no fool. So, with this being said, of my experience today, I want to share something. One of the things that go on when you're going through the spiritual enlightenment is many. There are many, many, many things. One factor is that you become very frustrated. Another thing that happens is you become unaware that you're even acting different than what you're really acting. Something else is that we either become creative or we become destructive. There's no in between. Either we become creative and we become kind, or we become savages and we become nasty. That's just the way it comes. And it all has to do with vibration, and it all has to do with being able to control. Sometimes we become paranoid. We think something is going on, and we keep seeing it everywhere we go. But what we don't realize is that within the realm of awakening, it's not just an awakening, and then you just awaken. You just awaken, and then all of a sudden it just stays there. No, you awaken, and then you go through steps going, downward, like a downward spiral. But in reality, what we perceive to be a downward spiral, it really is going the opposite direction. We're actually going up. So when you find yourself irritable, and you find yourself angry for no reason, and you find yourself going through depression for no reason, and everything in your life is perfect, so you don't understand why you're going through the things you're going through, or you can't let things go. Just understand that it is normal to be upset. It's normal to hold on to things. It's normal to let go of things. But it's also normal that when you're going through an awakening, to expect these things to happen. Expect the unexpected. Don't judge the unexpected. These are things that are going to happen. These are things that are going to come to pass. And at the end of the day, they will come to pass and they will change. But you have to be willing to make the change and to understand that what's happening to you, it's not that you're going crazy. It's that you are waking up to things that at this particular moment does not make sense. And with time it will, because either someone spiritual will point it out to you, or you yourself will sit down and figure it out for your own self. So my suggestion, like I said, is be aware of these things. Be aware that your subconscious or your mind is at that euphoric state. You're able to see through everyone else what is in their mind. So if a lot of people don't like you and you're working around a lot of people, you may find people staring at you, but in reality, they're not really staring at you. It's something that it's spiritually, you can see their spirits, or you can see them, you can see their spiritual form, how they are with you. But when in reality, when you look at them through true glasses, or through true eyes, then you will see that a lot of the stuff that's going on is not actually going on physically. It's going on in your mind, and it's going on in your eyes, and it's going on in your spirit, because your spirit is able to tell that these people either don't like you, they don't want to be bothered with you, or they don't want to give you the time of day. So at the end of the day, the best thing to do is keep yourself grounded. And how do you do that? Well, some people like to take crystals with them. Some people like to carry crystals. Some people like to hold on to crystals. I find that silver is something that works really well, whether it's a silver chain, or whether it's a half $1, or whether it's silver powder, real silver powder. It comes in a little pouch. whatever it is that you carry with you that has to do with silver will help in many ways. Now, back to the awakening. It's as you look at what's going on with the weather. This is not normal. This is climate change. Climate change, but also climate control. Because, like I told you once, it's not a theory, and it's not what do you call that? Every time something's going on, people are like, oh, that's just a theory, or you're making it up, or this is not really going on. This is a conspiracy. There's no conspiracy. The fact of the matter is, we have the ability to create the weather. We have the ability to create rain and to create snow and to create many things. What makes you think that we don't use it for ourselves? We, and I mean we, when I say we, I mean we as humans. You know, people are so busy worrying about and talking about Christianity and the end of the world is coming, but do you forget that the world is coming to an end? Because in life, there's always people, and there always have been people that are so fascinated by immortality that they would do anything in their power to destroy whatever's around them just to make sure that they survive, without realizing that they're going to get old and they're going to die themselves. But with all of this being said, if you have the ability to trace wormholes all over the world, little wormholes, because you could be sitting down and a wormhole can pass and you don't see it, and automatically you disappear. And these are phenomena that are real. This is not phony, this is real stuff. So when you're spiritually inclined and your spirit is guiding you somewhere, and your spirit says, don't do this, don't go there, don't go there. Don't go there, because Spirit's warning you for a reason. Okay? If you got something to hide, don't hide them. If you have a partner and you get used to the idea, because people, both men and women, like I always say to people, you have a relationship, that's your relationship, but everyone should have their own secrets. You shouldn't have to have people go through your phones or go through your wallet or go through your purse just to see whatever they want to imagine they're going to see just because they're doing something wrong. Don't do that. Worry about your own personal space, worry about your own inner peace, worry about your own development, and worry about the things that make you happy. Because at the end of the day, tomorrow is not promised, and at the end of the day, when it's time to go, we go. So keep your mind, your spirit, and your heart all connected as one, so that it becomes easier for you to be able to deal with things as they come. Back to the awakening. The awakening is something similar to the Matrix. I've learned along the years that all these movies that are made, there is, whether you want to accept it or not, there is a lot of proof of things that have occurred in life for real. We don't want to accept it because, of course, we love America so much that we don't question things. But that's the problem. We should always question. We have people in power that shouldn't even be in power because all they think about is money. And yet they've been corrupt and they still get picked because, maybe the color of their skin. Whatever it may be, make the right choice. Educate yourself. Learn so that you don't hurt anyone. But most of all, you don't hurt yourself. Now, back to the awakening. In the awakening, you will start to have dreams. You will start to feel like this particular place you live on right now, it's not feeling the way that it used to feel. So no matter where you move, it's not going to feel right until you find the right good place to go. Okay? Spirit will guide you where you need to go. You just have to listen and you need to follow so that everything can shift. Um, there are people who, for the lack of a better word, are kind of simple minded. And then all of a sudden, from one day to the other, they get very smart. And then they wonder, well, how does that happen? Well, you know what? The universe is filled with many secrets and many things and many trials and tribulations. It's up to you, me, and everyone else to decipher what it is and what they mean. That's why I try to be the best person that I can be for me and for other people. I'm not always going to be at, I'm not always going to make it right. I'm not going to always be perfect. I'm always going to have flaws and I'm always going to screw up, and that's okay. But when all is said and done, you have to be aware that these things are happening, and more people are waking up, and more people are waking up confused, and you find more people that are homeless, and it's because they're afraid. They don't want to go home. They want to stay in the street because it's safer in the street than it is in their home. So you have to look at all of these things that are happening. And like the point I was getting to is, you know, the Bible says, yes, in Revelations, people talk about, oh, well, the end of the world, the end of the world. Well, I said it before, I'm going to repeat it again. Revelation is politics. It's all about politics. And as long as there's rich people in this world, they're always going to try to make, and every religion is involved. Every person in religion is involved when they are in the hierarchies. Um, they want to be the self-proclaimed prophecy maker. Okay, again, self-proclaimed prophecy maker. So what they do is they take scriptures and it talks about the earth destroying itself. So what do? You push and you take from the earth everything you can to make it bare, so that so that the earth can get tired, and Mother Nature can get tired, and she can spew out fire, and she can cause tornadoes and hurricanes and all kinds of things to destroy people. And as long as we, as human beings, are detached from one another, and as long as we are pulling away from each other, we will never win because we are dividing ourselves. We have to be close. We have to learn to coexist with each other in order for things to work out the right way. So you have to think about these things before you start to think about other things. When you start to see things like Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. Well, when you start to see things that you cannot explain, and you see them from the beginning, believe that you're seeing them. Believe that these things are going on. Understand that time is changing, and these things that we were so afraid of or we didn't want to talk about, we need to talk about. We need to talk about other beings. We need to talk about things that are going on right now. It's fact, and not just fact, proof. There's proof out there that supposedly China is building its own military, which they're cloning babies, and they're splicing genes within their body to make them immune from pain. So basically, they can get shot and they will feel nothing, and they can easily just take care of themselves. And they're playing God. Um, But so are we. We're also playing God, because anytime we take something that nature has given us and we mutate it and we make it into something else, we're playing God. Anytime we come up with an idea that, quote unquote, you put God's name in it, you automatically are going against what you believe in, because you just are thinking about money at that moment. You're not thinking about anything else. So if the world is going to come to an end, it's only because the rich people are going to destroy it. They're going to cause problems. They're going to cause havoc. They're going to cause all kinds of things so that people can fight and people can be, as long as people are not united, they win. They win. And it's sad because China is a very, very, very uh, powerful country that is knowledgeable about many things. And instead of us working together as a whole, as a union, we're not working together. We're working against each other. And as long as we work against each other, we will never, ever win the fight. Because what we forget and what people forget is that we are no longer the minority. When we hang together, we are the majority. And the majority speaks. So instead of fearing someone coming to your house and burning a cross in front of your house, make sure you got a bat with you. So in case somebody tries to burn your house down, you have a bat to defend yourself with. So anyway, so again, awakening. Awakening can start with bad dreams. It can start by feeling heart palpitations when you sleep that will wake you up. Heart palpitation when you go somewhere that feels familiar and your heart starts beating really fast. These things are happening because you have an awakening and your spirit is being awakened and the spirit is coming closer to you and coming closer to you. And because it's coming so close, you're able to feel every vibration, everything that's going on in the person and in the universe at the same time. And that's the scary part. So, when you're around people that don't understand you and you're around people that go through your shit because they're so insecure about their lives, because to me, misery loves company. And when someone is miserable, they will do everything in their power to make you as miserable as they are. It has nothing to do with you being a cheater, them being a cheater. It has to do with the fact that they're miserable. Miserable people want other people to be just as miserable as them. And in this case, I don't believe that majority of you people are miserable people. I believe that a lot of you are very, very, very happy in the situation you're in now, in the position you're in. But there's a lot of you that are not. There's a lot of you that are not happy and they're still dealing with things that they shouldn't have to deal with. So again, be aware. The awakening is here. Today you might be one way, tomorrow you might be a different way. Today you may feel like you can conquer the world, tomorrow you may feel like you can't even clean a rice field. So think about these things. Think about things that have been happening. Think about all the climactic things that have been happening in the universe. How these storms just come from nowhere, how the weather. I mean, I got here, the weather was beautiful, and then all of a sudden it just rained and it is very windy and cold. And it's like, when has it been this cold here in Texas? It's been a long time. So whatever's going on, guys, just pay attention. Pay attention because what's going on is real. And these things that are happening for a reason. It's almost like they're pushing us. Just like this gentleman that just stepped down, not willingly, but just stepped down. He's a sore loser. I don't have to even say his name, but he is a sore loser. And at the end, what happens? Miserable people like people to become miserable like them. Okay? So, when you start to notice people are starting to change and they don't even understand why they're changing, why they're dreaming, why they feel the way they do, maybe you should talk to them and let them know that what they're going through is not something that's not emotional. It's something that's very beautiful. And that they have the capability and the ability to make the changes. So, and I'm not touching my hands because I'm nervous. I'm touching my hand because this seat is, like I said, I am not home. I'm actually in Texas. And these chairs have no backs. So it's kind of hard for me to put my hands in my chairs like I do at home. So I'm like basically like hanging out and I have to constantly try to erect my body so that I can stay put. So if any of you guys have any questions, you have 5 minutes to ask me a question before we go to commercial. Any questions? Any questions going once? Any question going twice? Any question going 3 times? I guess no one has a question. So I want you to pay attention to a lot of things that are going on. Focus in your mind and realize or acknowledge by looking, by observing, by keeping your mouth shut. Observe. If women are going through menopause, why are they going through early menopause? 1. 2, if someone tells you that they see something, why is it so hard for you to believe that they're seeing something? If someone tells you that they feel like they're getting sick, like they feel tired, they want to sleep, they're tired all the time, and they feel depressed and they feel down, but yet they can't answer why, don't judge. Just look out for them, because we've all gone through terrible things while we were having our awakening. And now the newer generation needs your help. And even the older generation that did not want to accept it are actually accepting things they cannot change. So the awakening is a very powerful thing. It can make you very powerful. It can make you wealthy. But it can also bring you depression if you don't know how to control it. And it can bring you chaos by thinking negative things. So I just want you guys to understand that not everything is spiritual. Not everything is an awakening. And not everybody is trying to hurt you. Sometimes the people that love you the most are the ones you hurt the most, because you see something that's going on and nobody else sees it. So I just want to make sure that you guys out there understand what is really going on with people and why there are so many, I would say in the gay life, why there's so many bottoms and everybody wants to be there's not that many tops. And the girl situation is like, why do women end up with idiots? Yeah, you're right, Kathy. Not many women talk about menopause because they don't want to. Just like a lot of those women, when they have daughters and the daughters are young, they don't talk to their daughters about the period. They don't talk to their daughters about wearing a tampon or wearing a pad. It's almost like it's embarrassing for them to have to teach them. But then if they don't have that person to teach them, then what else do they have? And by the way, the dress is fabulous. I saw it. Amazing work, Kathy. Amazing, amazing work. Many blessings. Well, guys, look, it's 8:29. We're about to go into commercial. So think about it. And if you have a question when I come back, then please feel free. Okay. Okay, for all you guys out here that have been listening to what I was talking about, I know that it sounds kind of sci-fi. Um, there was a movie that I saw the other day. I think it was on. It was either on Amazon Prime or it was on Hulu. Thank you for that. Well, um, for you women who are talking to me about menopause, the only thing that I can honestly tell you about menopause that I do know is that if you eat sweet potatoes, it's actually good for you because your body needs a lot of estrogen and it needs a lot of collagen. So that's the only thing that I really do know. And I also know that what helps is there are vitamins out there that will actually balance out your hormones and it will help you. Um, Coralis, yeah, the awakening makes you feel. I'm really sorry, Coralis, that I have not been able to call you, but I was planning to come to Houston and it had been really crazy. But anyway, yes, the awakening makes you sometimes pull away from people. It makes you it makes the spirit push people out of your life, but it also makes you conscious and realizing that the people that are surrounding you should not be there. And sometimes you'll feel that moment where you want to be alone, and sometimes you feel lonely. But you have to know the difference between feeling lonely and being alone, because you're never alone. You're just lonely. And sometimes in our own self subconscious, we want that alone time because we were so involved before and we gave 100% or 200% to people and they didn't know how to appreciate what we gave them. So at the end of the day, you choose to be alone. You don't want to be around someone. You don't want to deal with their BS. You don't want to deal with anybody's BS. You just want to be alone, but at the same time you also want to be with somebody else. You want to feel the pleasures of being human. Now, if you guys have any questions, you guys please feel free to please feel free to write in. If you have any suggestions, like I keep asking, we are never alone, but that lonely feeling is real. Yes, Kathy, I agree with you. Being sometimes in a crowded room, I can be in a crowded room, and it's happened many times when I was younger, and it still happens. I can be in a crowded room, and I don't feel well. You know what? I used to feel alone. I don't feel alone anymore. Like I could be in a crowded room in a crowded room and still feel like I'm the only one in their party, and it's okay. I can deal with that. A lot of people can't deal with that. We also, as people who are enlightened and people who are being pushed, um, because you're having an awakening, you become more talented. If you never knew anything about jewelry, you create jewelry. Because I created jewelry. You start to create products. You start to design. You start to see the world in a different view, in a different. You start to see it with hues of color, and you start to see life how you want it to be. You want to make women be beautiful. It doesn't matter what size they are. You just want to make them look beautiful. So you start to see, in one way, you start to see all the beauty, but in another way, you start to see all the disaster that surrounds you. So you have to surround yourself with people who are either awakened or people, and most of the time when people talk about they're awakened, they sound crazy. But you know what? Behind that craziness, it's reality. And maybe the reason that a lot of you don't want to participate in conversations like that is because you don't want to feel crazy yourself. But it's time that we start to understand that we're not alone. We have people that have gone through the same things we do. I remember things that has happened to me from many lives ago, from the first lifetime that I was in this planet. I remember things that people say, wow, it's crazy. But then when it comes out and it turns out that an archaeologist found this and found that, it's something that I talked about maybe 30 years ago. And they're like, oh, wow, I can't believe it. Yeah, because I was there, because I know. And we were all somewhere. We just don't know because we're not awakened. But sometimes our dreams take us to where we were, and we wake up either with fear or we wake up with happiness, wanting to wish that we were there again. Okay? Well, it is 8:37, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through a meditation because I think it's something that's important, and I don't want to lose track of that. So what I want all of you to do is I want you to take a deep breath, a really, really deep breath, and I want you to hold it and hold it, and then I want you to release it. Yes. Once you meditate and you do all these things, you actually can meet your other self. You can contact your other self, your future self, or also your past self. But you have to be well rounded. And you have to meditate on a regular basis to keep you grounded. And you have to make the time. You can't say, I'm going to meditate and not meditate. You have to make the time to meditate every day, even if it's 5 minutes a day. So we're going to do this. Like I said, one of the things that I just basically said was for you guys to breathe in and to hold it, and I release it. And I want you to do that 2 more times. I want you to hold it, hold it, hold it, release it. Remember to release, sending light and love. And when you inhale all the negativity of the world and the pain and the sorrow. You're bringing it in and you're releasing it, sending it light and love, sending it light and love. Now, take another deep breath, close your eyes, count to 10, and then just keep your eyes closed and listen to the meditation, and I will guide you to relaxing your body, your mind, your soul, and your spirit. And that's what I'm going to keep repeating. I don't have rights to this music. This is just something that I'm listening to. So I just want you to listen. Keep your eyes closed. Either erect your body or lay down or find a space where you feel comfortable. And I want you to breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth slowly. And I want you to pay attention to this music. The body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Take a deep breath. Count to 10, then release it slowly. All the while being enthralled and entertained with this music that will help guide you. Take a deep breath and release it. Take a deep breath and release it slowly. downward, bring it back to relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. While you're meditating, remember to take deep breaths in through your nose and release it through your mouth. Sending light and love. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Take a deep breath. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Release. Remember, sending out light and love to all who need it, even your enemies. Wishing them well, wishing them happiness and joy, so that they can be your happiness and joy alone. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Remember to take deep breaths. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Count to 10 and then release. Putting your mind, your thoughts, your pleasant thoughts, and releasing all that is torturing you or making you feel bad or making you make bad choices. Let your ego know that you thank your ego. You who are the master of my ego, I thank you that I no longer need you, and release it with light and love. I repeat, you who are the master of my ego, I thank you that I no longer need you. Take a breath and then release it into the wind, relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Very important. The stillness of breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Soul and the spirit. Always keep in mind that fear is entangled. Sometimes we fear to take that other step, but at times we need to. So let's take it in, all that's stopping you, all that's causing you pain, take it in and release it with light and love. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. Relaxing the mind, the body, the soul, and the spirit. I want you guys to take a deep breath, as deep as you can take it. I want you to hold it, to hold it, to hold it. Now, I want you to let it go. I want you to release it. I want you to release it with light and love. I want your mind, your body, and your soul and your spirit to be relaxed. But I also want you to feel fulfilled within yourself by letting go of everything that torments you. Let it go. You have to let it go. You have to let go of the master of your ego and let him know that you are grateful but you no longer need him. And start to work on that every day, releasing things that are important, releasing things that need are very important. You can bring the breathing back to normal and let it go, but just breathe in. Always remember to breathe in through your nose and to breathe out slowly through your mouth. That way you avoid all this other nonsense that's going on in your life. Breathing in and out, feeling all the goodness that the universe provides, all the goodness that God provides, all the goodness that the powers that be provide, that will fill you. I want you to open your eyes and I want you to unwind. I want you to shake your arms down. I want you to shake them up. I want you to go clockwise, counterclockwise with your neck, then clockwise with your neck. And I want you to be aware of everything that goes on. I want you to be aware of your surroundings. I want you to be aware that if you feel something is trying to talk to you, to listen. As humans, we tend to be caretakers for other people. But when people really need us, we tend to like walk away and we tend to just push things away. You're not privy to that. You have to understand that you have an ability. And that ability is to heal and to help. Just keep taking a deep breath. And you hold it 10 minutes, count to 10, and then let it go. So, it is 8:55, and we'll be going to commercial in 4 minutes. So I just want to let you know, any questions you have, you can either call or place in the network. If you have a topic that you want to discuss, feel free to leave it so that we can discuss it. This particular topic that I'm talking about was a topic that came to me through my godson Jason, and something that we talked about, something that we conversated about, and something that I've known, but I'm working on making more and more people aware without scaring them, because it does get scary. So for all of you out there that have been listening today, I thank you very much for your time, for your patience, for your understanding, and for your support. Also remember, I work for Alchemy Food Network, which is the company that I belong to. It is run by Dr. D. Please support, because without her I would not be here. So I want you to make sure that you guys are aware that, just like you have people to help you, I also have people to help that help me. And I live in the gratitude of all of you, plus all the other people that I've met along the way. So I just want you guys to remember that today is about releasing and letting go of those inadequacies and letting go of those pains and sadness of things that have occurred in the past and the people that have done things in the past. Let them go. Let them go because it's the most important thing to do. Set yourself free. Move yourself in a different direction. Move yourself to a place where you find peace and tranquility, harmony, and love and understanding. But please support Food Alchemy Network. And like I said, you people, I keep talking about the biofeedback. You should try it. You should try it. You would like it. It will help you and it will benefit you. So it is now 8:57. We have 2 more minutes before we go to commercial. So I just wanted to let you know that, again, you guys are very much appreciated. I live in the gratitude every day for what I'm able to do for humanity. As you all may know, it's no secret, I've said it many times, I don't believe in people, I believe in humanity. I believe that humanity has the right to change, and it can change. I believe that it's difficult when your own family doesn't really understand you. So, be well. It is 8:58. All of you guys be well. Any questions? My number's on the bottom. Feel free to either call me at a 561 number or call the network or write the network and they will get the message to me. I want to remind you guys to always make time for meditation. Is very important, even if it's 5 minutes, even if it's just 5 minutes of quietness. And the biofeedback, try it, you will like it. I must go. Namaste, and I will talk to you next week. We'll be going to commercial, but I have to go. So I will talk to you guys next Monday. Please, someone try to pick a subject. If you don't, I'm going to pick up one random, and you know me, I go on a tangent talking shit, but I do talk about it. So again, I love you guys. Enjoy.